we have Heather, we have Liz out there joining us here. And Heather, we'll start with you because we know we did several MS rides with Sam, something that was near and dear to his heart. And I always teased him about, I think one year he did one of those electric motorized bikes up the hill. It was like, what are you doing? That's cheating. But let's get Heather's thoughts. Heather?
You know, and he always, I'm just so grateful today for us being able to put the smiles and laugh a little, because I will tell you, it's been probably one of the toughest things I think all of us have done on TV, and something Sam did really well. So, you know, it's how do we do a tribute justice in the way Sam Rubin would have done it, and it's really tough to do. And now that we've gotten many tears out, and I'm sure more, being able to laugh and smile and see Sam's pictures. We have some MS Bike Tour pictures I know that we could show you. I mean, he was just the laughter of all of us, you know, our butts hurting after riding for miles and miles and laughing in hot tubs later on in the afternoon after these long bike rides and things we were doing for charity. And he was the kind of guy that always put a smile on your face. You know, I was sitting here with my IFB in every morning at 8:40 waiting to go live while listening to Sam Rubin's segments every morning and saying, Sam's going over this morning. I said, good for Sam. You know, and it's those things that I will always remember and cherish. A lot of people don't know that Sam was such a mentor to me. And he always took the younger reporters under their wing, under his wing. And he was someone who, you know, told me I was a star and told me that you've got this. And I think knowing that that person was there for you was really important. So someone like Sam, who always answered the text message when you had a question about the industry, or someone who was like that, you know, he was just a really, really special person. And all of the younger reporters in LA, we all kind of have been texting each other saying the same thing, that Sam pulled us under our wing and showed us the ropes, you know, what we needed to know. And there are not a ton of people in this industry like him that will take the time to do that, and that made him so special. I'm cherishing one moment. We were in Anaheim with the shoot. This is just 2 weeks ago, and I was leaving makeup, and we were making a joke about how unrecognizable we are without makeup on, and he was coming into makeup to get his makeup done, and I ran up to him, I gave him the biggest hug, and we chatted. I almost missed my live shot because we were busy talking for 30 minutes and catching up on life, and I just say, Raul and Shalia and Chrissy, you never are too busy to have a moment like that, and I'm so glad that I had that moment.
Yeah, it's one to be cherished.
Heather, thanks. I know how special that was, and Heather told me that I almost didn't even go hug Sam because I had to this, but you know, she made it a priority, so that was important. I don't know if we still have Liz out there to share a few words. Liz?
Hi guys, I was 15 years old when I first started watching Sam. I mean, that's how old I am, believe it or not, but 15 years old when the KTLA Morning News launched. My parents have been a huge KTLA fan. Our family I grew up watching KTLA from the Los Angeles area, and like many San Diegans who have transplanted from the LA area here to San Diego know about our sister station, KTLA, and the KTLA Morning News. I remember putting my makeup on. I think I was just starting high school. My parents, obviously I watched the news because my parents did. Who did they have on in the morning? The KTLA Morning News. And it was so entertaining and so funny because, as you know, that team that Sam was part of really revolutionized the way morning news was done. The most authentic team was at home helping us get ready for the day. And little did I know, more than 30 years later, part of what they did, part of how Sam was, I mean, he was who he was on air, as what you saw on air was who he was off air. And I think that is the one thing I learned. Little did I know he would help shape the type of reporter that I would want to be. And I think that's, for me, what stood out the most is just, you know, unbelievable when I heard also, along you guys, super shocked. The first people that I called and texted were my parents, my mom, my dad. OMG, can you believe Sam Rubin has died? Those were the two people, because even now, as you know, a reporter, having been many years already in this business, number one, having come to work for Nexstar was a huge deal for my family, knowing, oh, you're going to a station that is the sister station of KTLA. huge fan. I'm coming to you as a fan on behalf of my parents who all the time, even prior to me working for Nexstar, would ask me questions about the news industry, would ask me questions about, do you think Mark Kriske and Sam Rubin are friends? Do they hang out? Mom, I don't know. I don't know them personally, but these are the type of conversations that we would have at home as a professional journalist, them thinking that I had a direct connection with them. Not really, but when I came to Nexstar, they felt for some reason even more connected to that team. And for me, again, fast forward more than 30 years later, I can't believe that, number one, I've learned so much just through watching him and watching the rest of, what is now a legendary team, how they have managed to mold being authentic on camera as well as professionalism. You trusted Sam with the most up-to-date, with the scoop, all the entertainment tools. The actors trusted him. Anyone who was famous trusted him. And at the same time, he could make you laugh. You felt like he was your friend. And it's just such an incredible loss. And I know on behalf of my parents, mom and dad, who now watch Fox 5, they live here part-time. They still live in the Orange County, LA area. They still have KTLA on. They are truly just shocked, like so many of us, you guys. It's just, it's hard to put into words, but coming to you from a fan, myself,
Sure.
little 15-year-old trying to get her mascara
Sure.
on, watching him and the rest of the team was just so entertaining and fun. It's just,
And thank you for that. And by the way, that revolutionary morning show that a lot of us watched growing up, me included, Rich Goldner was actually one of the producers on that show. He is now our boss here at Fox 5. And one of the things he said when we launched this show, it's about, he didn't want to compare, and he didn't want us to be the same as the KTLA morning show, but it was kind of like a mold. It's like, you see what they do, see how they're having fun, see how the audience trusts them, and you can still deliver the news when bad things and sad things happen, but you can have a cup of coffee with them, like they're your friends, you can laugh with them, you can smile with them. That was the goal for us here. And partly because of Sam and what they did, we've been able to do this for as long as we have.
They've been friends for 33 years.
Yeah,
Rich
for
and
a
Sam.
very long time. Christina?
I'm obviously a newcomer to the morning show. I still call myself the newcomer. But every now and then, when I get to fill in and I get to speak with Sam, like we just saw, one of the things that I noticed was that sometimes on TV, we say things and things don't necessarily come to fruition. I might say, hey, I'm out here, I'm going to get you a pie. And then it doesn't actually get to the station. Okay. Sam Rubin.
Yeah.
This is something that I remember it happened actually a year ago. He was talking about his Skechers slip-in shoes. And he asked Raul and myself, have you ever tried these? And I said, Skechers? No, I haven't worn Skechers in a while. He goes, oh no. And he swore by them. He said, what's your size? And I go, oh my gosh, I'm about to say my shoe size out here. And I said, well, I'm in between these sizes. So I give him 2 sizes, and I'm thinking, he's just asking.
Yeah.
I
No,
go
no,
on
no, no.
vacation,
He
and Raul
delivers.
is texting me.
He delivers.
I'm across the seas here.
Yeah.
You've got 2 boxes of Skechers slip-in shoes, the 2 different sizes. He's like, it's in my closet. You pick it up.
His closet.
My little
And it's
closet in the
office.
studio that I turn into my
And I
office, we
remember-
call it a closet.
And I'm on vacation. I'm like, Sam Rubin.
The attention to detail.
See,
And the follow through, the authenticity. Those are the shoes. And since,
These are,
and since
I
you've
have the
gotten,
brown ones and the black ones that
Yes,
Sam also sent to me.
Yes.
He
Since you-
swore by them.
And since you've gotten them, I've been trying to buy a pair for myself and my son as well. But I want to make sure it's exactly the
Sam would
same.
never allow you to buy a pair for yourself. He would-
yes. But I just love that about him, that he really meant it and
Oh,
he
yeah.
delivered.
He really
He
did.
was always very complimentary of my outfits.
Yeah.
In fact, that's why I wore this dress today. This was his favorite dress. He
Yeah.
called it it was a
Speed Racer.
It was like it was like a cartoon character or
Speed
something.
Racer.
Speed Racer. It was Piper the Speed Racer or something. It was something starts with a P. But yeah, he was always very complimentary, very observant. Nothing got past the guy.
Right.
Not
boy.
any detail. And
That's
the
true.
attention to detail and his wit and his comedic.
Yeah.
You have to be smart to be funny. And he was just
witty.
wicked smart.
Oh, yeah.
He really was.
Very, very smart.
There wasn't a single
and
segment he
kind.
did in 10 years where we didn't laugh.
Yeah.
There was always
Not one.
something.
Yeah.
But again, it's what everybody's been saying, that it was beyond just what you saw on TV. Obviously, his family was near and dear. Everything he did was for his family. But the moments that we spent, the dinners that I shared with Sam, the events with our group and our sister station KTLA kind of coming together. These moments with Sam and riding the bikes and everything else, MS Ride, the time, yeah, we competed for that title. The times at the hotels, at the pools, the dinners, he was also a mentor to me, like he was for a lot of people, simply because of the fact that he took the time. He took the time to talk to you if he called, to text you back. Sometimes it would take him a couple days, and I get on him, I was like, bro, I texted you like a week ago. But he would eventually respond, and
He was also
that's
somebody,
who he was.
He was a mentor because he was good. I mean,
good,
he was
yeah.
great. Yeah, I mean, he was masterful. I used to watch his segments and just admire just how he stacked things, you know, like a little inside baseball, but like how he produced what he was doing, and then when he would just throw it all to the wind and just go with whatever was happening, you know. I mean, he was a remarkable professional.
Yes.
you saw on the red carpet all the actors, all the big name
You know, you say
A-list
that,
actors
you
were
said-
coming up, and it was like a defense came, the walls came down. They were on the red carpet being actors. It's Sam!
Yay,
And then they go
Sam.
up, and oh my God.
You know, I think there's a lesson with all of this, right? Because we just had an interview earlier today with Diane, who lost her son when he was 3, and she said, you know, in all the pain, there's always light. And as all of us have reflected over this weekend, and just the outpouring, I'm sure all of you have seen it on social media, and how many lives that he touched, is just maybe a reminder to all of us that the ride is short. So
Absolutely.
while we're here, do what Sam did. Do what Sam did, and be a light in as many lives as you possibly can. And I mean, that's the biggest thing I learned from him.
Yeah, well said. And make people laugh.
And make people
Yes.
laugh.
And leave them with a smile. Thank you guys. I know that was tough for everybody and all of us involved, because beyond work, he was, at the end of the day, he was our friend.
Yes.
And we're going to miss him tremendously. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.